you like the video, it'll be my honor if you can like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And there are a lot more figure diorama photography at the end of this video, so please watch and enjoy until the end. Now, let's begin. Hello everyone, how's everybody doing today? And today we are going to be reviewing a legendary character. This is from Good Smile Company, Nendoroid line, and it is Crayon Shin-Chan. I don't know the English title. If it's not Crayon Shin-Chan, then I'll put it right here. But anyhow, a very popular and legendary and very sensor sensitive depending on where you live in. So again, I don't tend to buy too much Nendoroid figure, and I keep saying this every time, but there's certain figures that just work perfectly with Nendoroid, and I think Crayon Shin-Chan figure here is perfect. It's Shin-chan, and Nendoroid figure, you know, they kind of stylized to its to match its line, but for Shin-chan right here, because his design is so well matched with Nendoroid that they don't need to stylize it. It's Crayon Shin-chan right from the TV series or the manga. But yeah, it's a very cute figure. I don't know about you. I didn't watch. Well, I do watch Crayon Shin-Chan time to time, not anymore, but back then I did watch Crayon Shin-Chan quite often because it was so hilarious. It was one of a kind. Back then in Japan, you never had this kind of twisted in a way character until he came out, and I think they done a brilliant job. And one thing is that this figure is a standard a must because he is so top heavy. You can make him stand, no problem. Well, actually, there is a problem, but he is such top heavy that he would fall very easily. So if you're used to, you know, playing around with figure, it's okay making him stand, but unless otherwise, he would fall every time. So and if you want to make him kind of like other than a neutral pose, you can't make him stand. You can't make him, you know, crouch or anything. He's gonna fall. So just be careful. He might just toss around and fall from your table. It's quite top heavy, or actually super top heavy, because that foot is not gonna hold his weight. So anyhow, and I think a lot of people are already, you know, wondering what the hell in the background. Anyhow, it is a very typical Crayon Shin-chan manner here. And one thing is that you need to swap the legs, and I don't understand why Max Factory couldn't just give us an extra leg, and you know, you just saw him fall. That's how heavy he is. But you need to share its leg for this part to work, and there you go, his legendary butt move right here. So yeah, but I just don't understand. It's such a small little piece, and you know, Max Factory could have just give us, you know, 2 extra leg, and it didn't need to be, you know, articulated. It could just, you know, like fixed, and we'll be happy with it. But yeah, well, you know, I don't know. I don't work at Max Factory, but here is his shiny, not so shiny, a little matte, but his ass. I might get censored. Sorry. Okay, I don't want to be censored on YouTube. So even I'm not a popular YouTuber at all, but by no mean. But anyhow, I don't want to be censored. So that's done. And other than that, you do get a extra leg, and for some reason you only get 1 leg, and that's to make him kind of mimic It's one thing is that it's hard to. Sometimes the ball joint does come out, and sometimes ball joint doesn't come out, and your leg does come with the ball joint. What you can do is just pop out that and just swap it around. So you can kind of. Is it? Come in. There we go. So you can kind of mimic him, a small little, I don't know, like, that's not much at all. This is a slightly bent knee. So you could kind of make him like he's about to walk or he's walking kind of thing, but it's not a big deal because since there is a articulation on his leg, so you could kind of do that with this leg anyway. So it's not a necessary option or part. If I'm gonna get this, I'd rather just get the same extra leg for the butt piece right there. So yeah, it's not necessary at all. I probably wouldn't use it at all, and I'll just have that installed like so and be done with it. And you would get extra hands, not much, just few extra hands. You get the 2 hands and a bye hand. So this hand right here, he's grabbing his legendary snack Chocobi, and that you can swap out, and there's a little peg that you can put it in. So you can have him posted like that, or you can put his hand inside and you can make him hold like so. So a slight little variation. Not to forget, he does have a arm right here. You can also swap these arms with the one here. There we go. And make him kind of like running. I don't know. It's very limited what you can do with Nendoroid series. That's why I don't usually buy them, because they can, because there is a small ball joint that a lot of figure have, and you can kind of install that. So you can have at least this Crayon Shin-Chan, you can have his elbow articulated. You can do that. That's not a big problem. Give me a second. There is a similar. It's much taller, of course, but this figure, it's not ball joint, but there's a cut, so you can kind of move it around, and you can do that. Yes, this figure is slightly bigger, but with that level, you kind of can do that. So if Max Factory wanted to, they can give him more articulation, especially his torso, because there's nothing going on other than moving or twisting around. That's about it. But you can kind of add a ball joint and give him a slight crunch, but this line is so limited, and that's why I don't bother to purchase much. But how can I resist Shin-chan? I just can't. And Shiro, the dog, is wanting some attention. As we can see, he just fell right now, asking for attention. And yes, it's so cute. When I first saw this dog, I saw that this was a mouse. Like, a lot of people thought this was a mouse. Like, the dog was like opening his mouth 24/7, but actually it's a nose, and that was a big surprise for me. I was like, that was a nose all this time, but still, it looked like a mouse for me for some reason. But anyhow, yeah, my favorite dog, and it does, look, we'll go 360. But the problem is it's very top heavy, or head heavy, so he would fall easily. So yeah, just be aware. I don't know why, because I think you can, like have the head empty, making it very much light, but the head is not empty. There's something inside. It's fully inside. There's no articulation on the ear, but because the body is much lighter, he would fall easily. So have that in mind. Just keep there. He has extra head, and this head you can swap it out like that. So the option is you can play around with the eyebrow, and again, if you're gonna Max Factory, if you're gonna give us a articulated eyebrow, it's a great thing because you can kind of move around, giving it a different expression. It's great, but maybe one more that would have not hurt. That's like also like instead of giving us this leg, maybe just give us 2 more stationary legs so that this figure right here can just have the leg. I don't know. Maybe they're squeezing the costs a lot, but what you can do is you just move the head out and just install it, and there you go. You get the kind of joking, kind of serious, kind of making fun of you, I don't know, kind of, or you can say, oh my god, what have I done? Sorry, it's you can do a lot of expression with Shin-chan with the eyebrow alone, and that is impressive. It's like great, well designed. When Shin-chan first came out, he was more cold, and the comic was much more cold and more mature audience. But I think a lot of PTA, and there was a lot of PTA who was very angry of the show, so it got much softer. So there you go. Like, oh my god, it's like, that is so beautiful kind of head, or very seriously interested in something. But other than that, you can move back the head and take that out, and maybe you can just kind of sorry. I am so sorry. It's just so entertaining. This figure, it just is like what's going on kind of thing. Anyhow, a lot of if you love this figure, I would say, like the Carby figure, this is a definitive Crayon Shin-chan figure. I don't think you need any other Shin-chan figure but this. This is the perfect, and it's the only figure you need for Crayon Shin-chan. It is great. It is beautiful. Yes, you can also have his ass showing version to swap around the head too, if you wish. And there you go. I really think this body, or this figure right here, it's like 2 in 1. But this one, I think it could just be a one statue. They don't need to give us, like articulated hand or anything, because there's not much we're gonna do anyways. So it could have been a statue to cut cost and so on. But anyhow, that's how he is. And the reason why I have Doraemon here is I just wanted to tell you guys a story. These two collaborated before. I think it was either a movie or TV special. I think it's a TV special. And Doraemon and Crayon Shin-chan was in the same show. And what happened after this show, the production of Doraemon got so pissed off about it, when they made this collaborating show. It was the Crayon Shin-chan TV side that made this show, the animation. And so Doraemon creator wasn't involved in making that show. Well, they were, but they weren't the one who was animating it. Now, so when Crayon Shin-chan animator collaborated, they did one thing that pissed off the creators of Doraemon so badly that they declined any other collaboration in the future. That was this Takekopta or helicopter device. They put it on Shin-chan's ass like that, and this is a device where it helps. It makes Doraemon fly. So it's a unique item. So for Shin-chan to fly, what he did was, usually you're supposed to put it on your head like that. But for Shin-chan, it's Shin-chan. We all know he would not do that. We all know he would do something creepy, and that is what he did. And that apparently pissed Doraemon creators so bad that they declined any future collaboration. It was the end of their friendship. But again, like, what do you expect? Doraemon is my favorite character, one of the greatest characters. I learned full Japanese. I never went to Japanese school. I'm born in Canada. My parents were working all day, all night. We didn't have much communication. And I never went to Japanese school. So my Japanese is completely self-taught. Never learned anything from school or any education. I read comics book, and that was Doraemon comic book. I watched the anime, and that's where I learned my Japanese. And my Japanese is super fluent. I know a lot of Japanese culture, history, and even language that today's younger generation have no idea. I had to talk to them, and they were like, "What? Huh?" And I was like, you guys live in Japan. Like, this is supposed to be common sense. But time change, education change. I don't know. Usually something that the parents are supposed to teach them. Maybe the parents today is so busy that they don't teach them. It's surprising because there is a manner in Japan that you're supposed to lay a certain thing in a certain manner. Like, say, when you're at the dinner table, you're supposed to. This is like a common sense in Japan. Like, if you don't do it, they'll be like, where in the hell did you came from? You never learned manner from your parents. Which is, you're supposed to have the rice on the left and miso soup on the right and the chopstick here in the front, and then you can have the main dish in the back, or so on. So there is a way of putting your food, and apparently some people in Japan didn't know that, and there's some thing that you're supposed to learn from your parents. And it's devastating that some kids in Japan don't even know common sense, because if you go to any workplace and anyone sees you like that, they will treat you like you're not educated at all, because it's like you go to a restaurant, Caucasian restaurant, and we expect some certain degree of manner, like a common sense level. Like when you're drinking soup, you don't make noise like that. You don't make noise. But if you do, then people will be like, where'd you came from? Like, it's that common sense level. But some people today in this generation, apparently, I think the parent doesn't teach them, or they have lack of communication. I don't know. They have issues. And but anyhow, going back to the topic, Doraemon was my teacher when it comes to learning Japanese. And so I love the character, but what do you expect? It's Crayon Shin-Chan. He would not put this Takekopta on his head like that and, neatly fly. That's not gonna happen. That is so Crayon Shin-Chan, and I was surprised that they weren't expecting this to happen. But anyhow, I love the show. I love both of the show. Sad that they have a bad blood, but I took some photo, and yeah, great figures. I hope they would release a daddy and mommy. I like the daddy more, but I don't think they will. But Crayon Shin-Chan had a lot of mature, high level educated movies. Like the movies they do, it's not for kids. Well, it is for kids, but they have a lot of theme that even it makes adult cry, because it is such a beautiful story. So it's a great show. The TV, not for me anymore, because the jokes are so out of touch for me, but the movies are for me. It's great, and a lot of it's highly rated in anime fan in Japan, and even for the mature, adult anime fan, that some of the Crayon Shin-Chan movie is legendary. So anyhow, I took some photo and talk to you all soon. Bye. Thank you very much for watching my figure unboxing photography review. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Currently, there are only 6% of my audience who are subscribed, and I feel a little bit lonely here, so your subscription will give me inspiration to go on further. Thank you again, and see you all soon. 遊びでやってるんだよ。